This is the biggest reason why we need to know the alamat, the sign, the advent, or the things that will happen preceding the coming of the Mahdi. This is number one reason. I will mention to you the reason, but as believers, as Sunni Muslim especially, dear brothers and sisters, if we are not aware of the hadith, we do not study the hadith, we do not understand the situation that is going on in our country, in our worlds, wherever you are, then dear brothers and sisters, it will be easy for anyone to be deceived by the misinformation or disinformation that are circulating on the internet, especially the one that I will play in a second, because this video looks like it is from a Shia video, from a Shia person. The reason we need to talk about this particular video that are made by Shia is because if we do not, then we will get convoluted in terms of following the true message of the Mahdi, who he will be, how we can recognize him. Because Muslim, Sunni Muslim, we tend to relax, we tend to be very lazy when it comes to study our deen. So let's take a listen at this video, and then inshallah I will be making a few more comments, and the reason for that is because again we need to learn here. I will go through this video and see whatever they're saying right now, whether it will make sense or whether this is something we cannot agree whatsoever. Let's take a listen. Excuse for the music, I'm not playing it, it came with the video.
5 facts about Imam al-Mahdi. Most religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and Taoism, have some notion of a Messiah-type figure. The 3 monotheistic religions in particular possess many scriptures detailing events around the coming of a Redeemer. Fact 1. His birth. The Abbasids were concerned about reports regarding the 12th Imam who would terminate their oppressive rule. They decided to end the imamate by killing Imam al-Askari. He said, "They thought they could plan to murder so that my progeny may be cut off, and the Almighty Allah rendered their word and their plots ineffective." When his son Muhammad al-Mahdi was born, Imam al-Askari kept it a secret, only informing trusted close companions in closed sessions as a means of verifying his birth and existence. These companions then conveyed this to a select few trustworthy Shia. Fact 2.
Okay, so number one, the birth of the Mahdi, right? He is quoting the Abbasid Khilafah, and for the Shia, not all of them, for most of the Shia, they do not curse Abbas, Ibn Abbas. Why? Because he is from the Ahlul Bayt. And in fact, they do the exact opposite. They will quote him, they will quote their accounts of the history of the Mahdi, and they will come up with their own conclusion. Number 2 is that according to the Shia belief, the Mahdi right now is hiding. Okay, and he will talk more about this in the point number 2, which is the minor occultation. Let's take a listen. But the Mahdi hiding is a sign of, according at least to me, is a sign of weakness, and Shia believe that he is hiding. Subhanallah.
Minor occultation. After the death of his father, Imam al-Mahdi became the Imam at the tender age of 5 in 260 AH. Due to the imminent danger, Imam al-Mahdi went into minor occultation for a period of approximately 68 years. During this period, he would be in contact with his followers through 4 intermediary representatives: Uthman ibn Sa'id, Muhammad ibn Osman, Al-Hussein ibn Ruh, and Ali ibn Muhammad, who following his death in 329 AH, the major occultation began. The believers would contact their Imam.
Okay, so number one thing that he's mentioning in terms of the occultation, number 1 is the minor, means he was in hiding for 68 years, as he mentioned, and then after his death, the Mahdi passed away, the major occultation started to take place. Now, the problem with this kind of narration is that it is again convoluted, because a lot of people would not know. The Sunni Muslim, our belief is so simple. Wallahi, Mahdi will come when the situation will be created for him by Allah Azza wa Jal. As we know, the Mahdi will appear from Medina and he will go to Mecca, and the ulama, they said it will happen 3 times. He will go back and forth, Mecca, from Medina to Mecca, from Mecca to Medina, 3 times that will happen, and then finally he will be caught up by the scholars that time, who will give him bayah and ask people to give him bayah because of the Mahdi. So simple, right? Our belief is simple. Their belief is like, oh no, he has to be born again, or he was living before then major occultation happen, and this gives you a idea, or this gives you the impression, I should say, that this is nothing but like story, like a beautiful story. Why Allah would have to make him die, resurrect him, or bring him back? Why so many things? For Allah, he would not make it so complicated. No, Shia believe it is good for a story, but not for good for authenticity. Okay, this is just made up.
And their concerns, and give their khums to his deputies. Any correspondence from the Imam to his devotees would be delivered by these emissaries, containing his sealed signature.
Okay, now he has, and again, 4 supporters, 4 agents, representative, whatever you call it. So these people are in contact with the Mahdi, according to the Shia belief. They are receiving instructions, guidance, whatever from the Mahdi. Again, it's too much story, no truth to it. Like, where did you get this from? Wallahi, like Shia people, where did you get this from? Did you collect any hadith? Like, or is it from your Imam? You guys, they have like 12 Imam. The last Imam will come, the Mahdi. But where did you get this from? Did Allah send you a book? Did Allah send a Rasul? Or did the Prophet ﷺ, did he say anything about the Mahdi that you are claiming?
Described by the Prophet, during occultation, people would benefit from the Imam as they benefit from the sun when it is covered by the clouds. Fact number 3. Major occultation. The major occultation in the year 329 AH meant that he had to be concealed from his enemies as well as devotees, and will continue until Allah gives him permission to be amongst his followers.
Okay, now there is a major occultation. So major occultation, then another major occultation. I don't get it. Like, even now I'm confused. So he will have to hide himself from his enemies. Who are his enemies? If you are meant from Allah, you don't fear anyone. Number one, Rasulullah SAW, when he received revelation, he was very clear. I'm messenger, believe me. If you believe, you will be successful. If you don't believe, you will go to hellfire. And he knew the consequence for it, that his people will turn against him. And this is exactly what happened. The kuffar that turned against him, he was at risk. So did he hide his message? Did he say, oh, my enemy, I'm afraid of Allah. If I tell these people about you and my prophethood, they will come after me. Was he scared? No. Even Musa alayhi salam, Allah said, La takhaf, la takhaf. How many times? Many times. Musa alayhi salam was told by Allah, do not fear, do not fear. So Allah Azza wa Jal, in fact, he said, in my presence, the messengers, they are not afraid of anybody. Imam Mahdi, the Mahdi is one of the major figures in our religion. You think that Allah will just send him with a lot of fear, that, oh, you have to hide because your enemy is there? No, he would not do that. I mean, yes, you can hide, you can take shelter when you are on earth fighting your enemy. That is okay. But, oh, I cannot go out now because my enemy will do something. I mean, again, I'm sorry, but it's very, very convoluted.
His occultation was not due to him fearing for his life, but was necessary to safeguard the true teachings of Islam, similar to how the Prophet migrated to Medina.
No, this is not how you save the teaching of Islam, by hiding yourself. You're okay. If you're hiding yourself because the enemy, he's saying no, he's not hiding because of his life, then why you are hiding? The true teaching of Islam is already there. The hadith is there. Okay, the Shia people can read their own books. They will find out a lot of other narrations that are that are very close to the narration of the hadith that we follow, the Sunni Muslim. They do not need to hide anything, wallahi.
His fear for Islam, not his life. In addition, the major occultation
Islam has nothing to fear. Islam has no one can harm Islam. Yes, they can harm Muslim, but Islam, no, nobody can harm.
A means of testing Shias and Muslims in order to ascertain their level of faith. Fact 4. His reappearance. When Imam Mahdi returns, he'll appear middle-aged, majestic, pious, faithful, and shine like a star. Some narrations suggest he will be wearing the Prophet's clothes and will resemble him. His fight will be against all forms of prejudice, such as racial, religious, and economic. Narrations state that there will be a number of signs that will occur heralding the arrival of the Mahdi. Universal signs will consist of the prevalence of evil worldwide, many dying due to the pandemics and wars, the superiority of ignorance over knowledge, and degradation of religion. There are also some specific signs that will transpire, such as the coming of the Sufyani, the Imam's enemy, rise of Yamani and Khurasani his supporters, murder of a pure soul, swallowing of an army composed of the Mahdi's enemies in a place located between Mecca and Medina, and a supernatural scream. Fact 5. His government. One of the numerous titles afforded to him is Al-Qa'im, which points to the fact that on his return, he'll rise up against the corrupt world order at the time. We are informed that he'll embark on his program on the 9th of Muharram by the Kaaba, where he'll introduce himself to the world. His closest followers will be 313, then another 10,000 will join him. He'll invite all to his divine cause, and he will visit Karbala and will pledge to avenge Imam Hussein's death. He'll establish his headquarters in Kufa, where he'll defeat the two armies of Sufyani. While Islam will prevail, he will not force people to convert. There's no compulsion in religion. Allah the Most Powerful doesn't compel individuals to become Muslims, nor will the Imam. He will simply reflect the truth, many will follow. He'll deal with those who'll choose not to convert to Islam according to their religion. Economical and technological advancements and increase in morality will prevail. The Messenger of Allah prophesied about his descendant Imam al-Mahdi, saying, "He will fill the earth with justice and equality as it is filled with injustice and tyranny."
Okay, so this is the hadith that we follow, and in fact I quoted this hadith many times in this channel. So again, the thing, the dear message is that there are a lot of similarities, looks like, between Shia and Sunni belief in terms of the Mahdi. However, I think the biggest reason that we need to understand or study the life of the Mahdi is because of those differences, and those differences can be related with our Aqidah. We need to be careful about those differences and teach each other, because any Sunni Muslim wallahi will come across this video will believe in these narrations. The Sufyani narration that there will be a battle between two Sufyani and the Mahdi. These things are not something we find in authentic hadith in our religion, in Sunni Islam, but they are making a lot of stories up, trying to kind of like bring this sensation or sensational feeling about the end of time. There is no need for that. Things are very clear, straightforward, as we have seen in the hadith and the coming of the Mahdi. These things are very simple, very straightforward. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. If you're new here, consider subscribing, like this video, share this video. Inshallah, I'll see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.